fighters.
Yeah.
Once again, the Bulgarian is in an advantage by height.
Well, and Krashevski opens the fight with and another one, stiff jabs, and a lovely overhand right hook there.
So far, they're trading already some calf kicks. That's in a tournament where it's really, I don't want to imagine how it feels, to be honest.
No. And another one.
Oh, nice crossover too. I like that.
Now, anyone who's watching, who's not familiar with SENSHI, you might wonder why Aibek Amanov is wearing those karate gi pants and his black belt. But we have deep roots in Kyokushin karate, as does the original golden era of K1. And anyone who's a black belt or practitioner of Kyokushin is obliged to wear their gi pants inside the ring. Now, Krashevski was the amateur world champion at SENSHI in Kyokushin. So,
as also Amanov, right? He was amateur.
Oh, that's what. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Last year.
Yeah, that's me. I'm going senile.
He almost got caught. Amanov by a knee. Again, you can see the Bulgarians have really focused on their knees. Is it due their height and working on the knees when the smaller guy steps in? I think so.
Now, I just want to make a point that this is a reserve contest for our welterweight Grand Prix. So these guys are fighting just in case there's a dropout or an injury in the main tournament. So they're fighting. They know that they might not have to fight again, but they have to be prepared that they may fight again. So fighting in the reserve is still a privilege.
Yeah, but you're not first-handed, to be honest.
You could be a second-hand champion.
Yeah, no, that doesn't matter. Maybe there is always a dark horse in the Grand Prix, and not mainly, it happens so now and then that these guys are winning the tournament. As I can mention myself too, you know, in 2005 I got the opportunity. Nobody thought I could win it, and eventually I won it. So yeah. You know, they call it luck. They call it, oh, nice takeover. It was a cross counter, not an interruption, but I like it. You know, I like to interfere, so that's why I'm.
Well, so I've heard.
Yeah, take an eye. I'm so sorry. So I take an eye on that.
Well, look at Krashevski's face, marked up on the right and left side. He throws a knee there, and it wasn't a knockdown. Last 10 seconds of this first round. And Amanov, very busy. He's thrown some great punches in that fight. And for a Kyokushin fighter, you'd have expected more kicks, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe he has some difficulties to step in, to get a little bit closer in distance to his Krashevski. But, you know, to be honest, I see them both training a lot. You know, the tempo is high. The impact is not that much. But maybe he's a little bit aware of the knees of Krashevski. I mean, Amanov is a little bit aware of it. But they don't change the style. You don't see different things yet. You don't see tricks. You don't see any tactical things right now so far. But maybe the second round they get new input, new coaching, new advices. So let's see what the second round will bring.
And I mean, when you say that, Andy, you say tricks, and we want to see tricky, clever stuff, and maybe the general public don't appreciate feints. And I mentioned it earlier with Ernesto. You know, you throw techniques to find out another fighter's reaction. You throw it again. You throw it again. He does, and then you find out a pattern. You throw it again, but switch it and change what you're doing. So you're getting repetitive behavior. To draw him into dropping his hands.
Body shot.
That was a lovely body shot there.
Yeah, and you know, the Grant and the people at home, there are so many tricks. Not tricks with the back fist or something. These are truly tricks, you know, but it's a common trick, you know, but technically things, you know, stepping aside, take another angle, these kind of things. The interfering moment and then step away and try to make a second attack, the double dominant attack, you know, to just break down the opponents. And so far it's just training over and over, action, reaction.
Yeah, one thing you don't see much of, which I don't know, say I'm a fan of it, but I think it's a simple thing where you close the gap.
You saw this guy, the calf punch, the calf and the punch in the same motion. These are things where you can change, or you can flip not flip the cover, you can change the game on that moment.
Lovely right hand from Krashevski.
Exactly.
And the calf, there we go, that calf kick again.
Yeah. But I can imagine, Amanov is a tough guy.
All the Kyokushin guys
they are
hard as nails.
You see what happened now with Amanov? You know, you see Krashevski's turning away, turning around to the middle of the center, and Amanov is just following up. He's not cutting the corners or the angle, you know? So just fighting in front of each other. But yeah, that's truly karate style, right?
Yes. Yeah. You mean like a linear movement with no lateral or circular movement?
And now you see that Krashevski is standing a little bit, still. He's sticks to the ground, and then you can see that Amanov is working out right now, and that's what we love, you know. That's his style, and you see that he becomes better of it.
Lovely right hand from Krashevski. Yeah, I was going to say one thing you don't see many of these young fighters doing. You close the gap and you can throw. The gum shield comes out there. The referee will get that rinsed off and replaced.
Neutral corner, neutral corner, neutral corner, neutral corner.
Yeah, Andy Sauer there taking his referee's head on and putting Amanov into a neutral corner. What I was going to say, Andy, is one tactic. You know, you close the gap and you either pull the gloves down of your opponent to throw a punch, or you can like throw a hook.
Yeah.
Which doesn't land on the face, but pulls the glove down and throw a punch.
Yeah, these kind of tricky things,
I mean, unfortunately, Ray Sifo's here, but when Badahari beat him up, that was that. Yeah, I shouldn't mention it, but Badahari used that tactic of pulling Ray Sifo's gloves down and
in that time
pulverized it.
It worked really. It worked for a certain period. Okay, but don't forget, people, who do you have? The winner so far? Who did win the 2 rounds, or maybe it's a draw? What do you think, Grant? As we always do. The people at home, they know us about that. You know, so
we didn't predict it, did we?
Yeah.
We missed it, you're right.
Yeah.
So, listen. First round, very difficult to score. I'll give it to Krashevski. Second round, I'm going to give it to Krashevski.
Okay.
But
I think we lost a little bit to Krashevski.
As we watch the replay, you see Amanov landing punches.
And that's what I think, because Krashevski was just slowing down a little bit more. So that's why I think Amanov took it a little with a slight advantage. So in my opinion, it's a 1-1 score now.
You think it's a round each? But I think, and it's always difficult because at the beginning of that round, that second round, you remember Krashevski was landing those stiff jabs.
Yeah, and calves and knees.
But the judges sometimes forget what happened at the beginning of the round.
Yeah, and it's what they see, you know, judges. And they have their scoring system.
Nice right, straight right there from Amanov.
Directly on the chin. Again. And, you know, the criteria, the scoring criteria is really important to understand. So the people at home, don't forget that the knockdown will be the first scores, then the damage, and then the overall control of the fight.
Yeah.
And then I would say, again, it's over and over, action, reaction from both sides. Yeah.
And do you think, sorry to take away from this fight, but do you think it's an advantage to be an ex-fighter, to become a judge, or can you learn to be a judge without fighting?
No, I think we have enough examples that people who never fought on a high level or something. You know, I think we have enough people. I think there are more people who didn't have the high standard of fighting. But yeah, it's a criteria. It's like learning. It's like teaching. It's like any other job. So in my opinion, I don't think you need to be in you have to. You had to be a good fighter to be a good ref. But I think we can feel and we can see a little bit more things than a regular human being. But yeah, that's not always
So listen, let's get back to the action. We've got 1 minute 30 here left in the third round of our first reserve contest in our welterweight Grand Prix at SENSHI 30 here.
Yeah.
Little stiff left hand there from Amanov. Aibek Amanov from Kazakhstan facing Viktor Krashevski from Bulgaria. Still a busy fight. Now, the one thing, if I was to be critical of both of these guys, is a lack of finishing power.
Yeah.
Now,
and even though if it was a point system, I think it's still equal, but it slightly goes to Amanov in my opinion. Because he's
the final
pressuring
round,
a little bit more. Yeah, in total now, if I see it, you know. You know, the punch kick, the kick punch, and you know, to be honest, Krashevski does a lot too, but he misses also a lot, you know.
Well, I was going to say that Amanov
good counter
is landing on the glove. Well, he lands a right hand there on the face. And if you look at Krashevski's face, it's marked up. And then he lands a straight right of his own.
No, to be honest, you're right. You know, if you end up really powerful with a latest hand or ending with a hard, powerful kick, then you influence the judges. You know, you're gonna show the judges that you are the dominant guy, and you know we missed that so far. So that's why it's gonna be a tough fight to judge.
But this has been exchange for exchange. This, one fighter lands, the other fighter lands. That's the end of the third round. Now, I'm always critical, Andy, of coaches and corners. At the end of the third round of a kickboxing match,
to present the awards.
Because what I want is the coaches and corners to prepare the fighters, no matter what, for a possible fourth round.
Oh,
And you'll see now, before the scores are announced, Amanov's corner putting his t-shirt on, ready for a decision. But you can't switch off mentally, can you, at the end of the third round? In case it's a fourth round.
Some people do it. Some people, they get rid of the intensity. You know, finally we're done. But you know, to be honest, if I look back to my own period, that was the time that I always took the guys into an extra round. I was the fighter who can took it to the extra round because I was a diesel. But yeah, so I was always ready, always prepared for the extra round.
And we have the official scorecard from all three judges. It is a 29 to 28.
29 to
28 to 29. And a 29 to 29 for a draw. We will go for one extension.
There we go.
There we have it.
There we go.
It was your water. It was the water, man.
It was in the water.
Yeah.
So, now, psychologically, if you're a fighter and you get to the end of the third round and you switch off, and now it becomes a draw, you think,
you see the calf, by the way. Did you see the calf of Krashevski?
The left calf of Krashevski.
And that's the point, you know. That's why my long pants I had, not the karate pants, but the Power Ranger pants that I had. That's why they deleted, not deleted, they
deleted them.
They forbid it. Delete it. They forbid it because you couldn't see any damage.
You can't see the damage. That's an interesting point.
At Krashevski's leg. So yeah, and even though Krashevski made a few calf kicks too.
Well, Krashevski there gesturing to his left leg,
and he's tired. What happens now?
I think he's given the fight to the blue corner.
He's out?
Well, I think so. I think his left leg is damaged.
Maybe he switched. Maybe he gave up. Truly? He gave up?
Yes, so let me just explain here. We have from the blue corner a withdrawal from the fight. He will not be continuing due to an injury. So the winner goes to the blue corner.
To the blue? What? Okay, that's a bit confusing, guys. The blue corner hasn't withdrawn and the blue corner won. The red corner's withdrawn and the blue corner's won. Now, I'm a little bit surprised because...
No, you're not surprised. We just talked about the fact that when you switch off, and if you allow the pain, Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You remember?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'll give you that, Andy.
Yeah, man. He's just switching off.
That's
He feels the pain.
exactly what's happened. Because
You see his face? He gave up.
well,
Unfortunately, of course, for
well,
Bulgaria.
you read that very well, Andy, because that I would have said it's not his leg that's damaged, it's his heart.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, if you switch, if you have a look at his calf,
yeah, it's a
it's
nasty
going
one.
purple.
Yeah. But he still walk. He at least could try. But if you switch off because the fight is done, I think, oh shit, I'll let it go.
The
and then you're
adrenaline
allowed-
goes.
Yeah, you're allowed to accept the pain and leave it, and then exactly that